There is interesting things happening all the time these days. Like Pickle Rick, shaped like a lake whale. All right, what is it talking about? Wednesday's storm damage is being surveyed as a calmer, cooler forecast takes over. So says Emily Roller. And the THORnews information train rolls on. As shit says, stays super interesting. There was a Transylvanian accent. How'd I do? Thursday was another unusually warm day across eastern U.S. with 3.5 dozen high temperature records broken or tied. Yeah, man. It's been hot all over for December. And the sun just went from like no sunspots to 6 sunspots really fast just a little while ago. And the sun just had an M-class solar flare. And Keystrong was like, yo, I predicted that shit 2 days ago. I predicted a possible M-class flare, and it just happened. An M1.2 flare on the 17th of December. But it was not from one of the regions that prompted my prediction. Downward, but very honest smiley face. It was from the new region 2911 in the northeast. In the rumors of War Department, Forbes is hearsay gossiping, saying, hey, nearly half of the Air Force's electronic intelligence aircraft were in the air at roughly the same time on Monday night through Tuesday afternoon, many of them near Russia. And, leading up to Christmas season, Joe Biden, who is a Catholic Christian, and Vladimir Putin, who's an Orthodox Christian, I'm hoping they can work out some type of Christmas miracle, because Jesus Christ is a Prince of Peace, man. Forgiveness, jubilee, and brotherhood. That's what I need, or would like, but we'll see what happens. Super duper shout out to everybody who's kept civilization standing during the super crazy pandemic plague that nobody's liked. Okay? And in the future, we have large boulders the size of large boulders because the future is now. That's a road hazard. All right. And when the space weather community starts quoting Eminem 8 Mile lyrics, it's getting very interesting. Bob Leomon, there's vomit on a sweater already. Mom Spaghetti, F10.7, 120, SFUB, and stereo head images look like this. Because I think the Solar Flux just hit 120, a new record for Solar Cycle Young 25. And there was a point during September and October when Jupiter was back in Aquarius, which it still is now with Saturn, that like everybody in Texas had COVID, or almost everybody. It seemed like 75% of all the people I knew, they had someone in their family or friends who had it. So, when the surge breaks out, it's just intense. So we've heard of people in England saying that the Omicron or whatever, just another surge of the virus is happening. And then, Miami, wow, this surge is intense. I know so many people personally who have gotten COVID since Thanksgiving. We've got Christmas coming up. So, I don't know, man. It is dark winter too. And so everybody just do the very best you can. And try to have a safe, fun, happy Christmas or holiday season, end of the year, whatever that means to you. All right. Ken Weathers dishing out the jokes. One night, a Viking named Rudolph the Red was looking out the window when he said it's going to rain. His wife asked, how do you know? And he said, because Rudolph the Red knows rain, dear. Now I could hear you groan at home. I got 10,277 comments on my YouTube channel so far in 2021. And I would guess that 10% of them were mad. People get mad if you don't agree with whatever they believe. So it's been a weird, challenging year for all of us. And for a lot of people, it's been a deadly year. So I'm doing my best to remain humble and very grateful, but still optimistic, because I've been predicting that things will improve in spring of 2022 since the start of January 2020. So, as long as civilization keeps standing, there's no reason to lose faith now, though it's going to be deadly dangerous and weird till spring, probably. And the world will probably never not be weird, I guess. Think about how much the world has changed since 1999 and The Matrix came out. You know what, man? It's like I had this theory since the plague broke out that this is kind of like the Y2K virus that everybody talked about in 1999. It just took 21 years or so for it to grow to like full strength. So we're now battling the damn virus that was manifested 20 years ago, around 1999, bro. So let's try and start manifesting good shit instead of bad shit. And no matter what, with all the gas giants on the same side of the sun, we know we're going to be dealing with more volcano and earthquake eruptions. Semeru volcano, the one that kicked off December by killing people in a volcano eruption, had 3 pyroclastic flows reported today. The volcano produced 3 pyroclastic flows at 9, 9:30, and 15:42 local time. And the pyroclastic gray lava mud is very bad. It's always been a weird world, I guess. Tom Brevoort, these are the comic books on sale 45 years ago. So yeah, it's always been a strange world. And it is weird that Casper the Friendly Ghost does look like Richie Rich. Maybe Casper didn't make it to heaven because all he ever talked about was money. But at least Casper's friendly on Earth, so that's good, right? Richie learned how to make chemicals into dollars 45 years ago. Very interesting. Because skiing is very expensive, but fun. And, you know, like me, solar activity is boosted. I estimate magnitude 3.4, says Gary Dowdle, about Comet Leonard. This was photographed from December 14th from Fort Davis, Texas. That one place that I really want to go someday. Maybe even have a THORnews festival with music and outdoor video stuff and activities, because supposedly it's a great place to look at the stars in the sky. But yeah, it's a pretty good picture. And look how beautiful that sky is. Gorgeous. The sky has definitely been gorgeous lately. Have you noticed? Yeah, I think they should legalize the peace pipe. Ever since Nixon declared a war on drugs in 1971, the year I was born, the U.S. has spent over $1 trillion on it and incarcerated a whole lot of people. I'm definitely for legalizing the peace pipe, man. Okay, so after 86 days of constant eruption, the La Palma volcano out by the Canary Islands, Africa, they stopped erupting. So now we're watching to see if that magma and pressure shift anywhere. And so we've been watching the Oregon earthquake swarm and the Gulf of Baja, Mexico earthquake swarm like a hawk constantly. And I've pointed it out a ton of times. And here I am again saying the swarm still continues. It's just slowed down. Will that continue? We'll have to stay tuned. Jupiter enters Pisces with new Neptune on 28th of December, and then 2022 is the year of the water tiger. And I dare say this is going to be one of the most interesting Christmas Eves and Christmases of all time, although everyone's experience on it is going to vary. But yeah, the planetary aspect sure adds a whole lot of mythology to the feel of real life things happening right now, in my opinion. Hey, James Reynolds says the frigid Siberian air is locked and loaded, starting its journey across the toasty Sea of Japan. First major sea effect snow starts tonight. Yeah, it's been my theory that since Texas went through the worst of it in September and October, that hopefully we are through the worst of it and we won't have a super duper major outbreak. But other places that haven't had a super outbreak like that will probably experience it. That has been what I might call majority of the time, especially the northern states, and we're seeing that happening. But I hope the lower numbers for Texas hold, but it's not holding in a lot of other places, man. It's spreading like crazy. And so I assume that for a lot of reasons, the rest of December is going to be like crazy. Although skiers will be happy with all the snowpack headed their way. And snow skiing is really, 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 really tons of fun. One of the greatest experiences I've ever had as a human being, and I used to have it a lot when I was younger, was taking a chairlift all the way up to the top of a snow-covered mountain, and then standing there looking at the whole world, looking like a painting. It's like so beautiful, it's not even real. And then you ski all the way down the mountain. And, you know, sometimes You do that and then have a hamburger and a beer in the middle with your friends, and then you get to complain about how expensive middle of the mountain food is. You know, it's a fun tradition. Everybody's talking about black holes. Well, a couple people are. I'm like, let's all wait and see. Okay. All right, this has been another THORnews middle of December 2021 fundraiser update. If you'd like to contribute to keep THORnews up and running, I got a mailbox, PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, and a Patron. Please take care of your family, your friends, and your pets first. But after that, if you got some and are like, hey, you know what? Thor has done a great job this year, and I want him to be able to continue to do it for the rest of the year and, you know, into 2022, then it would be appreciated. And I would just like to say thank you to Asteroid Fight Club, JJ, James, Greg, Charles, William, Roxana, Rod, Darlene, Dave, Jason, Carol, Patricia, Robert, Barbara, Wizard of Oz, The Goods, Texas Angel, Mist, Andrea, Alexis, Max, Lauren, Richard, Glenda, Arnica, Lightsoul, Dan, Marlita, Brian, and KJ, and everybody out there who's been listening and been with me for a while. You guys are all awesome and amazing, and everybody out there who's just being cool and keeping the world up and standing with a sense of humor. I appreciate you greatly. You guys are awesome, and I will talk to y'all in the very near future. God bless everyone. Stay cool.